First, I'm going to show you some of the older Realme phones so you can exactly name. Hey guys, welcome back. We have got two new smartphones in the town, the Narzo 10A and the Narzo 10. They are from the Realme, and by looking on the name, you can exactly say they are complete brand new series focused on some specific core feature, maybe gaming as said by the company. So we're going to take a quick look on the phone itself and a complete full review, the pros and cons of all the phones, which phone is good for you. There are a few differences in the box itself. First, let's open the boxes. So I've already used these phones, unboxed them, and this is the 1 week review kind of, you can assume. Now first, here's some first stuff. So you may have noticed like till now there is no case on the Narzo 10A. Narzo 10 comes with a GPU case built in. Here is the second. The Narzo 10A comes with the 10 watt charging, not the fast one, and the Narzo 10 comes with the 18 watt quick charging. This is not the fastest, but this is what you get. Another difference is that the Narzo 10A has a micro USB cable support, while the Narzo 10 has a USB Type-C cable support. Now here are the phones, the Narzo 10 and the Narzo 10A. These are two different brand new colors. We just go back and check out the master edition of the Realme X. This is the onion one, and there was another one which was exactly similar like the garlic edition. The rear mounted fingerprint sensor, polycarbonate back panel, because there is a cutout for the LED, that's why this is a plastic back panel. And here is something new, power button on the same side, no noise cancellation mic on the top. Bottom you have a Type-C, micro USB, headphone jack, and the speaker. So design is completely same, just the color is different. And this side you get the volume buttons and the SIM card. Both phones have the dual 4G support, and you can extra add an SD card too. First, I'm going to show you some of the older Realme phones so you can exactly name. All the phones have the similar size. Most of these phones, in fact all of them, they come with the 5000 milliamps battery, okay, and they also have the similar weight, and the camera layout is exactly on the same place. Fingerprint sensor, if there is on the back, it's on the similar place, except the Realme 6, it's on the side one. If you have used any of these Realme phone in the past, or if you have tried, you can exactly come to know how they will feel in hand. Okay, let's get inside and see other things of the phone. So that's how the phone display look like. And in fact, if you just take a look on some of the older phones like the Realme C3, I just shown you, the Realme 5i, and they all come with a similar kind of display, 6.5 inches HD plus display, 480 nits of the screen brightness, and around 88.3% screen to body ratio. So this is about the display. Now about the software experience, both phones run with the similar software experience. This is the Realme UI 1.0, and it is based on the Android 10. So you get the Android 10 out of the box. About the preloaded application, yeah, it do come with some of the preloaded apps, but the good point is that you can uninstall most of them, or maybe you can disable it. For example, it comes with a UC browser. Already have installed it. This is WPS Office, and if you just long press, you can easily uninstall it. Already have installed many of the application. Now let's talk about the performance of these two phones, like the Narzo 10 and the Narzo 10A. Before we start, I also want to bring in the Realme 6, because there's a common between these three phones. About the actual performance of these three processors, here's a quick speed test that you can see between the G70 versus G80 and the last, the G90T. G90T being the most powerful amount in this lineup, and G70 is the lowest one. There will be small differences. For example, the G90T will obviously launch the application faster in most of the games. In some games, it may or may not be. There's no guarantee. And the G80 sits in between that. But the point is that on using all these three processors and all these three devices, I can say it like, if using device alone, there won't be any problem. They will just launch application quickly. But yep, there is one point you should remember. For example, with the Narzo 10 and the 10A, they come with the 3GB and the 4GB respectively. Don't try to load so many applications in the memory, because 4GB, I don't think so from today's standard. It's very good for the casual user or gamer, it is good, but not for the pro user. Okay, now this is about the speed test. All phones are great. Now regarding the gaming side, I try to play PUBG, and here is the graphics setting that you get on both the Narzo 10 and the 10A. This is the max you can get with the ultra frame rate and the smooth and the balance, and I played the game on the ultra and the balance. This is the best setting that's available. And if you want to go to the HD graphics, you can have the high frame rate, but it is always recommended to use the as minimum graphics as possible, because there will be a lot of ping issues nowadays because of lockdown. So this is the best setting, and it is a recommended setting too. Now PUBG gaming is okay. Device is not going as higher as I was expecting it. Just 2 to 3 degree maximum increase in temperature after playing for around half an hour plus, and there is no frame drop, just some ping issues like I told you. So both of these devices are very good if you're especially looking for some gaming phone. And here is a quick benchmark results of the G70 versus G80 versus G90T. So as you may can see, G90 has the best results among all these three. So these are pretty much very close, but there's a huge difference between G70 80 versus G90. Okay, now about the last ran geek benchmark, these two G70 G80 are again close to each other, and the G90T has a much better results. About the camera performance of these two phones, Narzo 10 has a quad camera and the Narzo 10A has a triple camera. Now the best part is that the Narzo 10 comes with a 48 megapixel camera, and which uses the Samsung GM1 sensor, which is being used in so many existing Realme phones like the realme 5S for an example. And this Narzo 10 has a basic 12 megapixel camera. Now if you're looking for the best quality photo among these two, the Narzo 10 will be the best choice, because the 48 megapixel has some advantage. You get the more pixel, it is working on the pixel binning, 4:1 kind of thing. Okay, so you get the better detail, you can do more zoom in, so those kinds of advantage you will be having. But since it is the Samsung sensor, there will be some color over saturation, like things will be more bright. It's good for the social media, and there will be some focus or sharpness problem, especially on the bright color like the bright orange, bright red and bright yellow. This is common stuff except on the iPhone and the Pixel. Now coming to the Narzo 10A, it has a 12 megapixel camera. Like this is a super budget phone, so you cannot expect crazy camera performance. There will be some sacrifices, but if you're just trying to take photo on the bright lighting condition, it will perform well. It can take decent photos. There will be some issues like details are missing, especially on the shadow side, and it is not much oversaturated like the Narzo 10, and not close to the nature also. But yeah, if the lighting is good, you can take decent photos. Okay, Narzo 10 also comes with the 8 megapixel wide camera. You can take ultra wide. On the Narzo 10, there is no ultra wide camera concept. Okay, both of these phones come with the 2 megapixel macro, so you can take macro in case you're taking. Actually, I'm taking a lot of macros for my work. I'm not sure about the other. About the video capability, both phone can film 1080p video, but Narzo 10 has an advantage. It can film 1080p 60 frames per second, while the Narzo 10A can do on 1080p 30 frames per second. Okay. And on the complete low light photography, Narzo 10 has an advantage. It comes with the built-in night mode, while the Narzo 10A has no night mode. So on the no light, it is not recommended to go with the Narzo 10A. Now speaking of the front camera, there is a huge difference between these two front camera. The Narzo 10 has a 16 megapixel front camera, while the Narzo 10A has just 5 megapixel. There is some hair smoothing being done, for example, on this particular area on both of these phones. If I just go to the portrait, and as you can see, there is some little bit of hair smoothing, edge sharpening. So these kind of issues may be fixed or improved on the future updates. Now, about the battery backup and the charging thing, see, both phone comes with the 5000 milliamps battery, and on my heavy usage I get 7 to 8 hours screen on time on both of these phone. I mean, exactly they are not same, but I getting always near to 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. But if you try to use it on the dark mode and the adaptive brightness turned on, you should be getting some better results. Okay, now about the charging stuff, there's a huge difference. This phone comes with the type C and with the 18 watt fast charging. Narzo 10A comes with the 10 watt, the least, and the micro USB. Also, the company said both of these two phones are sort of a splash proof. It can only be verified by doing the durability test and the teardown, which I will try to do in coming days. Okay, now guys, on the summary, you just want a good gaming phone on the least budget, the 10A. You can increase budget, obviously 10 is best for you. Battery backup, both of them have identical. Battery capacity identical. Faster charging speed, Narzo 10. If you don't mind, it takes a lot of time, you're okay with that. go with any of them. The Narzo 10A also does your job. If camera is your priority, you should strictly go with the Narzo 10, not the 10A. Regarding the display, both phones have the same kind of display, HD plus. So you are okay with any of them. You go with any of them, you will get the same kind of display. All right. So anyway, guys, that's been it for the Narzo 10 and the 10A first impression and the full review. Do let me know your thoughts and any kind of comments or any queries do you have. Please let me know in the comments. Once again, thank you so much. This is Saurabh. Have a great day.